and welcome to Gamersledge podcast. Come in and sit down, relax. I am one of your hosts with the most, who looks nothing like Colin Jost, Mark. And joining us this week, all the way from the Great White North, where it is neither cold nor white, or barely really that much north, it's Matt. Hi, Matt.
Howdy. Yeah, it's actually been a really hot streak this week, so it's like been upper 80s, low 90s. So
it's been sweltering in San Francisco. It's been a
whole 77 degrees?
No, a high of like 62. It's windy. I'm wearing a sweater to work, so there's that. Yeah, every day. And then, of course, also joining us, it's the Pokemaster himself, Mitchell. Hi, Mitchell.
Howdy.
I love that you... Do you know who Minnie Pearl is? No, of course you don't. But that's exactly...
We do live in the middle of nowhere, but not quite that middle of nowhere.
Hey, man, that's where I'm from. So, Mr. J. Nice, I see your face, too. No, I don't, actually, really. But you can see ours. So, I'm sorry for you, and thanks for joining us. We have... I'm not going to lie. The reason this one's titled Offbeat Week is because there is jack all going on right now in the gaming industry. I mean, there's little thing, people moving studios and stuff. We've got a little bit to discuss, but let's get to that in a minute. Let's go around the room as we always do and talk about what we've been playing. Matt, your 30,000-foot overview of what you've been playing.
It's pretty simple. It's called God of War, the 2018 edition, and Rock Band 4 Rivals. That is the sum total of what I have played in last week.
Crazy pants.
I'm narrowing down on... what was the other one? Let It Be.
Here They Lie.
Here They Lie. That free VR one with Plus.
Oh.
It was... It's all jump scares. It's really... There's this Wendigo thing. If you stumble across it while you're wandering through the city, then it jumps at you and kills you, and then you have to do it over again.
When did it go?
Yeah, exactly, because sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. So when did it go? I have no idea.
It's always howling.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing it non-VR because you can play it non-VR too. I mean, yeah, it would be stress-inducing if you were in the helmet with the headphones on and everything.
Did Mitchell say he wanted to play, but you told him not yet?
No.
I would not touch that game. God. No.
He was in the room while I was playing it, and he was crawling under his blanket.
Nice.
He wasn't even playing. He was just sitting there.
Nice.
So yeah,
and he kept walking towards it. He would walk towards it, and I'd be like, "No, stop that!"
I kept hoping there was some mechanic where I could like scare it or something because there was nowhere for me to run. So I was like, whatever.
It would just scream at you and bash your face in.
Pretty much, that's what it did. It's some sort of like nightmare version of New Orleans you're in or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing great, but it's okay. The God of War continues to be excellent on the other hand. The fact that this game evolved out of what God of War used to be is just amazing to me. It kind of actually has got me thinking, because Cory Barlog, the director, was on God of War 1 and 2 and wrote the script that would become Ghost of Sparta and some of the stuff that led into 3. So this guy isn't like just came in and like recreated it from an external perspective. He was there with the beginning of it. And, the fact that as he grew and matured the story, it just got me thinking about, where are we going to be in 20 years? From two aspects. One, as I think I was talking to Ian, he said, when are we going to see our first grandfather game? Or grandparent game? Or was that you? It was you that said that last week. Okay.
That was me.
That was you. It's just like, yeah, I did. But the other aspect of it is like, I've got this joint in my index finger that's been hurting. And I'm like, oh God, tell me it's not arthritis starting in at the ripe old age of 42. But that we're going to start getting too old to have our hands clawed into positions in the not terribly distant future. So how is the gaming industry going to adjust to that? Are they going to adjust to that?
Well, and that's an interesting thing because we're the first generation to actually get old with games, right? Because I mean, yes, gaming has been there since the 70s, but most of those people did not continue and move to console gaming or PC gaming and go into that era. I mean, I'm not saying that no one has. I'm just saying this is the first mass market sized group to actually kind of move along those stages. And when we were talking about the maturation of the industry, this is actually something that we're going to have to tackle. And yeah, I mean, I think as much as I make fun of the Duke for its ridiculous size for being a controller, I almost wonder if that might be easier as time goes on, rather than the smaller DualShock. I'm used to the DualShock; it's comfortable in my hands. But I could see, like you said, there comes a point that maybe that's not going to be comfortable for me. So, yeah, there's a bunch of interesting things that people will have to solve for as this goes on.
Yeah, and it's another factor is, we use so many more buttons now. Yeah, when you and I started, there was 1 or 2 buttons, right? And, then there were 4, and then there were 6, and now I don't even know how many buttons my controller has on it. It's more than my brain can keep track of. And shoulder buttons have become more and more and more and more used. It used to be they were, minorly used, and now they're, core game mechanic in many cases. So that's a interesting thing too. But then, we saw Microsoft do the, what was it called? The controller for,
the Elite?
No. It was the,
the controller for accessibility.
Accessibility. Thank you. That's the word I was trying to think of. Controller. So that's kind of a step maybe in the direction. Maybe that's kind of their explorations into that realm of not necessarily aging out, but others that are not normally able to manage a controller, and that'll mature into that or something. I don't know. What was that, Mitchell? Sorry, I cut you off.
12 buttons. Unless you count the stick buttons, then it's 14.
Thank you. I really didn't care, but thank you for anyway.
Can I just point out that the Intellivision had like some ridiculous amount, like 22 and a disc back in the 80s?
This is true, yeah.
I'm just saying.
There have been examples of, keyboards. There's a lot more buttons on that than...
Are there?
It's hard to tell sometimes. But God of War continues to be excellent. I'm guessing I'm approaching the end. I think there's 2 more hidden trophies in the section where the story trophies have been, so... I'm guessing I'm narrowing in. This is a game I want to platinum. This game deserves that amount of effort and love.
Ken said it was not very hard.
It's not going to be impossible. It's not one of the ones that you look at it and just go, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to kill 5 enemies with a, some of those like Uncharted ones are just ridiculous,
nothing like headshots in 3 seconds while swinging from a rope
with 4 different weapons. Yeah.
Well, you can do that since everybody's made a paper mache. Sorry, Justin. I know you love Call of Duty. I hate Call of Duty. I'm sorry.
Well, if I said Call of Duty, I meant Uncharted. But yeah, whatever.
You said Uncharted, I think.
Whatever.
Sorry, I translated it in my head to Call of Duty because that's also kind of
Yeah, those are anything that's got multiplayer trophies, and I just go, nope, not even going to try.
Guns to make it difficult.
But yeah, it's not going to be impossible. It's just going to be time consuming, and I've only got 3 weeks before my life will be consumed by something else.
What's coming up in 3 weeks? I have no idea what you're talking about.
A little indie title nobody's really heard of from a studio that's not really had any success in the industry so far. Yeah, all that was a lie, by the way. And then Rock Band 4, we didn't put enough time in this week, so we didn't make it again. I've been trying to think of how to allay your stress about this just in my talking about it. And, they've made it now so that you get bonuses for playing even if you're not playing together. So the fact that you and other people in your crew have played the same song up to a cap, you get an XP bonus for asynchronous cooperation. So that's a thing that's relatively new. Yes,
sir. Your face is asynchronous cooperation. I almost couldn't say it, but I managed to spit it out.
Yeah, most of the time I think it's synchronous, but it could be asynchronous sometimes. Kind of like a Japanese.
It depends
movie.
on your laptop's CPU. Sometimes it really is asynchronous.
This is true. This is true. One of these days I'll get a laptop that doesn't, die.
I swear to God, you should just buy a Chromebook, because I bet that Chromebook would do better in terms of, here's webcam, and all it does is a webcam in Chrome. I think you'd be just fine.
Yeah, probably. But with the way it is, I'm stuck with this for now.
I know.
And Mark, if it convinces you you can now, with the purchasing of Rivals, you can get a 40 free songs, one of them being the first opening for Ruby.
I already own Rivals.
Oh, well then you can download it for free.
Oh, well then, all right, I will go check that out, because I still look at and buy the DLC. Even though I do not play the game hardly ever, it's one of those things where I'm like, ooh, I still feel it's not back to Rock Band 3 levels of good DLC. Like, they're getting there, they're like on the periphery, but I'm still missing some of those core songs that were originally in there. So I'm hoping they finish that out. Yeah.
There's some songs where I keep on going, don't I have that? And, one of the various reasons I don't have it. But yeah, it's last week's thing was ridiculous. Out of the 800 and some odd songs I owned, 550 were part of the challenge. So it was a little bit ridiculous.
That right there, the entire definition of apprehension. Because then I would have been like, now I have to play all these songs so that I can...
But you don't. You don't. You really don't.
You really do if you want to be up there on the leaderboards.
Well, yeah, that's the trick, right? I mean, we're waiting for the group that we should have been with the whole time, probably, to catch up with us so that we can progress, because we're still playing against the people that play way more and at a higher level than we do. But it's still fun. I mean, it's something that my daughter's really been into, and just doing that with her is really just been fun. Getting the boys in every once in a while to play. Even if we don't progress, we're still having fun. And the rewards this season are body suits for your avatars, which is just kind of ridiculous, but it's a thing. So that's it. We watched Annihilation last Friday for movie night.
Yep.
Oh, did you like it?
I did. I thought it was.
Please don't spoil it, because I have it, and I'm planning on watching it. It's just on the list that I have not gotten to yet.
Yeah, you get those emails from Google and stuff every once in a while. I have a 99-cent movie rental, and I'm like, all right, let's look at the list of movies I can get for 99 cents. And it was on the list, and we narrowed it down to that, and that's the one we watched. So that's how we did that. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very sci-fi. I've read the first 5 chapters of the book, and there is a very strong divergence early in the movie. Then we got to the part where it was crossing over, and it was similar-ish, and then to the part past I had read, so I don't know how the rest of it played out, but for the book. But I thought it was very well done. It was well acted. It was very much a sci-fi movie. Set up for a sequel. I haven't heard if there is one in the plans. I don't know how well this one did.
I don't know.
I was trying to remember who this was. This was Ex Machina guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Garland, is that his name? But yeah, very similar in that vein. If you liked Ex Machina, I have a hard time believing you wouldn't like Annihilation, even though it's a very different subject matter, but similar presentation. So yeah, and then Killjoys, which I don't think you ever started watching, did you, Mark? No. I don't know how you can resist Shawn Ashmore, because or no, it's not Shawn, it's his brother Aaron. It's Aaron Ashmore. I don't know how you can resist any of them, because they're just awesome guys. And then so watch that, and DuckTales, which took a really dark turn all of a sudden. It was like, oh, wow, okay. Yikes! But apparently we're jumping into the magic storyline. We're finally going to tie that up in the next couple episodes, so that'll be good. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Haven't had a lot of stuff going on, even though I've rattled for forever, so I'm going to shut up now.
Okay. A wild Mitchell appears.
All right, so I've been playing Octopath Traveler a lot. I've already sunken in 35 and a half hours into it.
Nice.
And then God of War. I've been playing that, and gosh, what's it called? Nazi Germany wins.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein: The New Order. And then I've been playing Fire Emblem Heroes and Final Fantasy Opera Omnia on my phone.
You kind of stalled out on 7, didn't you?
Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it between the other stuff.
When do you go back to school?
30th and 31st. That's when move-in date is. Classes don't start until the day after Memorial Day.
And this is your second year?
Yeah.
Enjoy this while you can, my friend. Enjoy this while you can.
Yes.
Let's see. I have been playing. Oh, there you go, into Infinity.
Woo!
Yeah, I'll just leave it like this. Let's see. I have been playing. Okay, so Terra Online. We've been playing this hot and heavy, and my original complaint when we first picked it up was that there was no endgame content. And we set it down for a while. We came back to it because Defiance 2050 is broken and they need to fix it, and I don't think they're going to. So we went back to Terra, and Terra was good and fun, and I managed to get... We're almost as high as you can go. We're like, level-wise, we're as high as you can go, but like in tier of armor, end-game grinding, we're as far as you can go. And you said to me... because I think I described this before, and you started to say, this sounds like pure hell, Matt. And I said, or did you say that? Yeah. So I was like, hey, it's not that bad, right? I was like, oh, it's a little grindy, but not bad. Mm-hmm. Well, we started looking into what is necessary to get the last gear. I'm talking like... I think we calculated it out. Ken did the heavy lifting on the math because that's not my strong suit. But I believe by the time we were looking at the end of this, we'd have to run the same dungeon 502 times. In order.
Oh Lord!
And that's counting on a certain percentage of RNG Jesus kicking in. So. Oof. So yeah, I said no. I said that, I enjoy games that are like work, but when it actually becomes work, that's too much for me. So I've set Terra down. I'm not done with it because they're gonna do another festival event, and maybe I'll be able to. We're hoping they change this, and you'll be able to get this next set from tokens instead. But yeah, because right now, basically what happens is, you have to farm this dungeon, and RNG Jesus has to bless you with the right percentage, which is super low, to get the recipe to craft these pieces of armor.
Man.
And then
Lord.
and that's for each piece. And then once you get the recipes, then you start farming the mats for it, which are also super low percentage drop. And I'm like, I think I'll pass. So, anyways, yeah, it's pretty bad. So even it crossed the line for me, and I'm like, no, I'm out. So I went to go look at Defiance. It's still broken. I had like I had an evening where I tried everything and nothing was fitting the bill. I tried. What did I went to I went back to Champions Online. I played Guild Wars 2 for an evening, which I still love that MMO, but I'm kind of like at this point, I'm a expansion behind, and I want it to come to the console, and it's never going to come to the console. So, anyways, yeah, and I did that. I did play Secret Wars on one of the streams. Or, I'm sorry, not Secret Wars. Secret World Legends, which is the kind of White Wolfish, Cthulhu-ish MMO, which actually has a really good story. And it's a lot of fun. They just relaunched it as free to play. I didn't put any money into it. We were having a good time with it, so that's good. But one of the things that it actually led me back to was The Division, because when The Division did all their updates to fix the game, they actually did fix the game, and they put out probably my second favorite multiplayer mode of all time, right behind The Last of Us. It's their survival mode that you can play with friends in a PvE environment. And so managed to get the regular crew that does Gamersledge gaming on the streams to reacquire The Division, and we're going to play that today and tomorrow on the stream after I dye my hair blue after the show. And then I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest. The more I get into this game, the more it is ridiculous at how well the fusion of those two games work. Because it is everything you love about a card building game combined with all the stuff I like about Puzzle Quest as a match 3 game with extra spells and stuff. So I'm really enjoying that game a lot. And then there's one other thing that happened, and I actually have to start up. Hey, go lay down as I talk to my dog.
Mark Stretz kicks back in.
La, la, la. We need to go to YouTube. YouTube.com. What does reconnecting mean?
It means reconnecting.
YouTube.com, go. And once we get to the old YouTubes, we'll watch the trailer and then we will discuss once it ever comes up.
Oh no, you're going to make me fight the copyright gods, aren't you?
I don't care, to be honest.
Oh, goodness.
Because
Twitter... Well, it's weird, because that episode where we did all the trailers, not a single copyright issue. But one where you had like a 30-second clip from the Conan O'Brien show, blocked worldwide.
Yep, I know. It's and that's YouTube, right? And I'm putting the videos on YouTube for archival purposes, but to me that is no longer the main. Twitch is the main thing, so make sure you do subscribe if you haven't already. Red Dead Redemption 2. So I don't know if you got a chance to watch this yet, Matt, but we'll do it here.
I think I watched a version of
it. They'll probably hang you, buddy.
You coming, buddy?
In the late 1800s, America was evolving, on its way to becoming the most powerful country in the world. New immigrants arrived, thriving outposts became towns, and civilization was spreading rapidly into the huge, wild, and lawless frontier. With Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar Games aims to create a living world that's not simply open, but deeper.
Come on, pretty boy.
More interactive and detailed than ever.
Pretty boy?
Combining action, storytelling,
we need to get those people warm and fed,
and gameplay in new ways. As you live, ride, and fight to survive as an outlaw in a notorious gang.
As long as we get paid or you get shot, I'm happy.
The game is an attempt to capture this pivotal moment when the age of outlaws was ending and the modern world was born. There is a huge world to explore, set across a range of America's heartland and frontier. From harsh mountain trails and dense forests to untamed swamplands and sweeping deserts, rugged livestock towns to modernizing cities and much more. all populated with a diverse cast of characters from turn-of-the-century life.
Now shoo, please. I'm waiting for someone interesting to turn up.
You play as Arthur Morgan, a trusted senior gun in the Vanderling gang, a band of outlaws and outcasts on the run from the pressures of civilized life.
We're gonna borrow a little money from old Uncle Sam and be out of his hair once and for all.
Each time they're forced to flee an area, the gang sets up a camp as a base. This is where gang members eat, sleep, perform chores, play games, and share stories.
Anyway, I got caught by some hill country sheriff stealing a chicken, I think it was, and he decided I was going to be hanged for it.
These are the people Arthur calls family, and you will get to know each gang member over the course of the game.
So, you save the silly bastard's life, and you and him go robbing sheep.
Helping the camp with food and supplies will keep morale high, while spending time with other gang members can reveal new secrets, fun things to do, and opportunities for mischief.
How about you and me go and redistribute some property?
In and out of camp, the world is alive and responds to the player.
Well, ain't this a rare treat?
And your guns aren't the only way to interact with the environment. Call out to a passing rider.
That's a nice horse.
Talk yourself into trouble with a local tough guy.
Clear out.
Or out of trouble with a town sheriff. Or intimidate a witness into silence, and more.
Keep your mouth shut. You're dead, friend.
You don't want to involve yourself with this.
Confrontations can be escalated or diffused.
Take it easy. Do what you want. I don't care.
You can form friendships.
God, you did it.
Or make enemies as you choose.
You killed my cousin, you sick son of a bitch!
Your actions have consequences, and it's up to you to decide just how honorable Arthur is.
Should I have killed you, Jimmy Brooks?
Me?
Shooting and fighting have both been radically improved to make combat deep and engaging at all times. Each weapon has unique characteristics, with realistic reload and recoil that always keeps the player grounded and connected to the action in a gunfight. In a similar way, the bond with your horse is crucial and changes based on your treatment of the animal.
Hold still, girl.
Some breeds are better suited for certain tasks.
I got a fella been looking for a decent workhorse like this for a while.
Your saddle and saddlebags can store extra weapons, along with supplies and animal carcasses that you pick up while out roaming or hunting. Over time, the bond between you and your horse will grow, making them easier to control in tense situations.
Yeah, he's a great horse, aside from when the devils got him.
A rich and varied ecosystem thrives in the world, full of predators, prey, and scavengers, all smart and sometimes deadly.
You want to come with me? I'll show you how we hunt one.
Hunting helps the camp or earns you money. Wound an animal and you'll have to track them down. Animal pelts and other items you find can be traded for cash to use at general stores, gunsmiths, saloons, and elsewhere.
This is God's own country, and I feel I'm in purgatory.
This is a world that is rich in depth and detail, all designed to be explored on horseback or on foot. As you live the fateful journey of a gang of outlaws on the run across America. In the next gameplay video, we'll look at missions, activities, enemy gangs, robberies, other things to do, and much more, including the evolution of sharpshooting using the Deadeye system.
So, I was told in no uncertain terms, because, look, I never finished the first game, and my concern with the first game is the same one as the second game. We were talking about that apprehension. I have, like FOMO all over the place with games like this, where I have to pick up every plant. I have to kill and skin every animal. I've got to do that, otherwise I feel like I'm going to miss out on the game, and then I never actually play the game. And I was told I was going to skip Red Dead 2. Because just looking at those expansive open world areas where I know you can go anywhere you can see, it's like, too much to do, right? Even just looking at that one screen, I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to make it from here to there. And I was like, Lexi was like, we're going to get this, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to get that. I'm going to wait, and maybe someday I'll get it. She's like, oh no, we're getting that. I will keep you on task. We are getting that game. I'm like, all right then. So yeah, I'm getting Red Dead 2, but man, it looks flippin' awesome on 4K with HDR.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I'm still not like sold on the story side of it, but
well, and that's the one thing. I mean, they're kind of retreading the same tire, right? I mean, this is the same thematically as Red Dead Redemption 1. The end of the West, the onset of modern civilization, except you had a character who was in remorse, sort of, for his past.
Yeah.
He had a dark history and he was trying to avoid it. This guy's in the middle of his history, right?
Right.
So, this is the same gang, I think, that Marsden comes from eventually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's going to be some crossover there somewhere. I also never finished because, yes, I also got stuck in the picking of flowers and skinning of animals, and I died at a wolf pack somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and I quit playing and never went back. Not on purpose. It just never happened.
Wolf pack?
Yeah. But, so, it's definitely, I get the apprehension and the overwhelmingness of it because, I mean, God of War can be overwhelming enough, and I'm sure the worlds of God of War are nowhere near the size of what this game is by appearances, at least. Not to mention you've got things like fishing and playing cards to do. It's just like,
I mean, the only thing I thought when I saw the fishing game is, Dave's going to buy it now. That's true. That's the only thing I saw when I was looking at it.
And I think that's the first time I've ever seen 3 guys in a boat go fishing in a game, so that's definitely a unique aspect.
See, and here's the thing, right? I don't think they've ever said there's 100% not multiplayer in Red Dead 2. I would love this game a lot more if you had the option to play co-op. Do mini games, co-op, etc.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. There's obviously, with the success of GTA Online, there's going to be some sort of online component. What's it going to be? We don't know yet. So,
I mean, why not release a game now and have it make money for you 7 years since it was released, making more money than the game ever pulled in through its online mode?
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, that's kind of the model that they've adopted for GTA. Now, are they going to? Because they'll basically be competing against themselves. I mean, Grand Theft Auto. I don't think this was a news article, but was the number one. Grand Theft Auto 5 was the number one selling game on PlayStation for 2 months in a row now. That's ridiculous. The game is 6 years old.
I think it might even be 7. I'll look. Hold on.
And who the heck hasn't bought this game that wants to buy it? I mean, I haven't bought it, but I'm not going to buy it. So, this just boggles my mind. But if they can get that kind of traction with Red Dead, I mean, they'll be cannibalizing some of their own market. But
5 years.
5 years. Okay, it's not quite as old, but still, that's pretty insane that a major console's number one game, even in the dead season, is a 5-year-old game.
That's a console cycle. Depending when you want to look in history. 5 years is a console cycle.
Well, it launched on PS3, right? So, I mean...
Yep. Yeah, at the very tail end of the PS3, early PS4, yep.
So, I think the thing that I'm seeing with the story and the characterization is it seems like they're kind of doing the Paragon villain path, right? Like, you can go either way. There's times where I hear lines and he seems very Malcolm Reynolds-ish, so I can see if you can play it kind of that way where, let's be bad guys kind of mentality. I can see how it would work. that was always my that's always my hang up with the GTA games, right? Is I don't like being the bad guy in games for some reason. You know, I have to force myself to play through a negative playthrough, like the Infamous games. You know, I had to force myself to make the negative choices.
Well, see, and I think that's where GTA, one of the reasons it stood the test of time is because even when you were doing a bad playthrough in Infamous, it didn't necessarily feel
villainous.
Yes. Whereas
like
when
you're
you
more
play
anti-hero than villain.
Yeah, exactly. And when you play as Trevor in GTA, you are a villain. Straight up. A psychotic psychopath who's likable, so they don't alienate you, but at the same time, when you really sit and look at what he's doing, sometimes even in the thick of it, you're like, oh, I'm not happy about this. And I think that's one of the things that, like, CJ is probably the most, like, he's oppressed, he's you know, just trying to make his way through it. Tony is a cliche, but Trevor just out and out is insane. And because of that, he has no moral compass, and you feel that as you're playing him. And I think that's one of the reasons people resonate with it a lot, is because it's one of the few games that actually, I'm still not saying that it's like the best characterization of a villain, but it is a different one from what we've seen in other places.
Right.
Essentially, people like being Chaos Incarnate, and that game allows them to be Chaos Incarnate. So.
That is absolutely correct. And so that's why I'm really interested to see if they do a multiplayer component, what it's going to be, because I can't think that they're not going to when they see how well this has worked for GTA. And if they can build the right hooks into it, then I think it could be just as successful.
But the one thing is they won't be able to patch hover. Well, I suppose maybe you could patch hover bikes into Red Dead Online.
Well, you
or
can't
mod it out.
You'll be able to on the PC anyways. Yeah, which is where.
Well, no, it's the official season. This last season of GTA has speeder bikes basically in it.
Even in the PS4 version.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's an official season thing.
All right then. And then the last thing that I did is, I try not to talk about too much on the show, but I'm a huge wrestling fan. I do not like WWE at all. I think they stifle the industry. They do these horrible storylines. They misuse the talent that they have for the most part. And Vince is obsessed with meatheads that look physically imposing, but at the same time aren't the best wrestlers or mic people, and it just drives me insane. So I like Ring of Honor, where there's still a lot of athleticism on display, but I also really like Puroresu, which is the Japanese version of professional wrestling, where they still treat it as though it is an actual sport. Kayfabe is still a real thing. Kayfabe is not talking about the fact that wrestling is a work, you know, that the matches are predetermined. It's not that Japanese don't know that. It's that they appreciate the athleticism, and there's really not many storylines that go on in wrestling over there. All the storytelling is done in the ring. So I've been watching a ton of NJPW. They're doing their version of SummerSlam, which is so much better than WWE's version of SummerSlam, because NJPW's is called the G1 Climax, and it is a tournament that is 24-hour pay-per-views. And I am just finishing the last one now. I'm halfway through the 20th pay-per-view. And it's insanity, because the worst part is, like, even if you try and explain to somebody what this is, the weird part is that every match is a 5-star match. Like, they are pretending like it is WrestleMania in every single match, and that's how good it is. I mean, the pure, you will see more moves in one 20-minute match than you will see in an entire pay-per-view of WWE. And so the athleticism is unreal. These guys don't have to travel across the entire world like the WWE does. They're going through different prefects of Japan to different sold-out stadiums. So it's much smaller travel schedule. You can actually jump on a train and be there in 2 hours, as opposed to having to get on a plane, fly cross-country, check into a hotel, etc., etc., etc. So it's a very interesting thing that they're doing, but it's growing in huge popularity. You can watch it for $10 a month on their website, which does not support the PS4, sadly. Only PCs and tablets and Macs at this point seem to work. Even your phone has a problem with it a lot of the time. I'm hoping they fix that, but they've been growing by leaps and bounds, and right now they are the preeminent non-WWE company, and they actually have a working relationship with Ring of Honor, so a lot of times their talent will come over to Japan, or the Japanese talent will go over to Ring of Honor, and they cover all that stuff. So it's a really good deal. Like, the $9.99 a month gets you all the stuff they've ever done, pretty much. So you've got like almost, I don't know how far back you can go on the website. I actually haven't looked to see, but I know it's at least probably 3 years worth of stuff. And these guys put out a pay-per-view almost every weekend. It's not really quite that bad, but they are very prolific, and the matches are all phenomenal. So I can't recommend it enough if you like wrestling, or you want to find something different than the WWE machine that grinds up wrestlers and storylines and all that stuff. Well, I'm sorry, not wrestlers, sports entertainers, superstars. That's what they call them in the WWE. Yeah, that's it. Let's go to the news.
I think I Ronda Rousey now, so.
Yeah, and they're probably going to keep Brock Lesnar, which is a mistake also, but I digress. Rousey, I'm actually totally fine with. She loves the business. She's wanted this for as long as she can remember, and she's working really hard. She's getting more comfortable on the microphone. I mean, I'm super glad for her that she found somewhere to land after UFC. Twitter.com/Gamersledge, which this is going to be hella short because I don't know that I got to look for today, but there wasn't a whole lot this week. Scrolling down so we can work our way back. There it is. All right. So, Steep has been canceled for the Nintendo Switch. Ubisoft says we're going to support the live game on next-gen consoles. I'm not surprised, personally, because I don't think Steep sold very well for the next-gen consoles, and I'm guessing they didn't make enough to actually warrant the subset of people that would buy it on the Nintendo Switch. That's my guess. I mean, that's all speculation, but I was looking at reasons that they may do that, and they must have done the cost-benefits analysis and said, nope, we're not going to make enough money from launching this on the Switch. That's the only thing I can think of. Why else would you cancel it?
Yeah.
Which is nothing to say bad about the Switch. It's got a healthy user base, but they must have had some kind of indicator to say, no, this is not going to happen. Right. Child of Light 2 leaked on Twitter. Oh, really? What? Basically, there was an Ubisoft internal tweet that went out, and they were talking about Child of Light coming to the Switch, but behind the picture of the Switch was the cover of a script that was cocked slightly, and you couldn't see the left side of the first word underneath it, but the rest was Old of Light 2. So the speculation was immediately that it's Child of Light 2 because that's the only game Ubisoft has with that name. I'd be totally down with that. That was a great little RPG. We reviewed it, and nobody plagiarized our review of it either, so that's good. So yeah. Now, Mitchell, did you get a chance to play Child of Light?
No, but I watched my dad play the second half of it about.
Did you know you could have played with him? It actually has 2-player local co-op.
Yeah, the second player controls the...
Oh, that's right. You control the firefly thing.
Yeah.
The Serenity. Let's call it what it is. I'm just kidding. So, yes. So, yeah, I'm happy that's happening. The Divinity Original Sin 2 pre-order went up for PS4. If you pre-order it now, you actually get all of Act 1, which is about somewhere between 30 and 70 hours, depending how thorough you want to be. The game comes out at the end of the month. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've played through it. This is not hyperbole. I think I'm on my 70-second playthrough of just Act 1 because I have commitment issues. But we're going to do a stream of it starting next Monday. We'll be starting. There's 3 of us playing. Matt is stick in the mud and doesn't want to play. I'm just kidding. I know you don't want. It's a new game. It requires large amounts of time, and you have to look at this face. So I get why you don't want to do it.
The last one isn't the point, but yes. The other things, yes.
Yes. They finally figured out a way to use the PSVR headset on Steam VR. I was super excited about this when it first came out because the PSVR headset is the heaviest of the 3, but it is the best engineered of the 3, so it feels the lightest. There is no forward strain after long play sessions like you'd get with the Vive and the Oculus, but there's no controller support. So it's keyboard and mouse only, so matter of time before they figure out that maybe we can patch the Vive controller support with the PSVR headset, then I would be all in on that. I mean, even though it's a little lower res than the others, I'd still be all in because that is the best headset. Although I know that come October, I think, I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the PlayStation specifically for Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for that game. The Chinese Room, which kind of imploded a little while ago. They laid off most of their staff, but they still retained their core founders and their intellectual property rights. Sold this week to Sumo Digital, which is another fine British studio. So those IP have a place to live, and maybe we will revisit them at some point, since they went to a good dev. Maybe not, but I'm happy either way. So Dear Esther, everybody gone to the Rapture, found a home. And
it's good.
That's it. That's all I have in the list.
Let's see, I got a couple of things.
Yeah.
Hit quick. We talked about this in the chat, but what didn't make the stream? One Punch Man Season 2 has been revealed. That'll be coming in April. Or One Punch! Had to do that. So the animation studio has changed. So it'll be a different art style for Season 2. Hopefully they'll stay true to the style of Season 1. They can get this. Well, yeah, I'm struggling. As long as they don't go that far. I'm still struggling with the art in Season 3 of Attack on Titan because they did the same thing. They switched art studios. So it's in some ways it's better. In other ways it's worse, in my opinion. But it's inconsistent. That's the thing that kills me. Yes, I know. They've totally taken the Trap character and just made him a girl with a boy's name. That's all they've done now. You know, I get it. It's effeminate. It's androgynous. It's Japanese, even though almost none of the characters in the show are Asian because it takes place in Europe. But yeah. Anyway, he loves laughing at me about that for some reason. I don't know why. Crystal Dynamics has opened a new studio in Bellevue, Washington, probably to help with the Avengers game. One of the key points on that is one of the new hires is Vincent Napoli, who I'm assuming I pronounced that. It might be
Napoli, maybe?
I'm not sure. Napoli, I don't know. But he is credited as the combat designer for God of War. All I can say, Thor's hammer. So yeah, that seems like probably a very, very likely what they're going to be doing is some of the work for the Avengers game, which makes me kind of sad because if they're just building the dev studio now that's working like the combat mechanics and stuff, that means this game is a long ways away.
I don't think that's the case. I think that they probably had like 3 or 4 internal teams between Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix working on it, and then they basically said, hey, we need to not do this anymore. Let's actually just go ahead and
just buckle down and
incorporate a new studio and fill it with the people that are working on this game so that we can retask these guys to back to their own franchises and whatnot.
Yeah. That's probably a better way of looking at it than how I was looking at it. So hopefully we're
Matt,
not that far away.
You've done project management, right?
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about scope creep for a Marvel Avengers game. Right?
Nope. No.
Even let's just say it is an exact clone of Ultimate Alliance with the current Avengers. That even to me would be like a nightmare in terms of okay, great, Iron Man can do this. Oh no, wait, he also needs to do this. Oh no, wait, there needs to be 27 versions of his costume that also do these other things. No, just shoot me now. Right. Yeah, I don't even want to think about programming that.
Spider-Man had to be tricky enough with just one main character with multiple costumes that all have effects. I mean, keeping that under control had to be insane. But fortunately, they had Insomniac Games on that, so those guys are really good at that.
Yep.
So we got the first gameplay of Doom Eternal as a part of...
No, you know what? Thank you for reminding me. We are going to watch that because I have not seen it yet.
Okay. Well, which
is insane.
Roll that beautiful footage.
Wait, what just happened?
I don't know. What happened?
Oh, I couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh, did I skip off the world for a sec?
No, I heard you.
I didn't hear you. That was weird. Alright, so this is Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal. No. Hello, computer. All right, there we go. Whoa!
Oh, is this the... Yeah, okay, this is the thing. So you gotta jump to... What is it, like 19 minutes in where the play starts? Because it's the whole conference thing, right? Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, come on.
Everybody, look at our sign-in information.
Nah. It'll do this well enough.
Yeah.
I just have to remember which. Nope. Yep.
This password?
Okay.
No.
You know, it still boggles my mind. It still boggles my mind how many people show up for QuakeCon.
Yeah.
So 19 minutes, you said?
Oh no, we're there. So obviously, I was wrong on the count. I really thought it was further in than that. Weird. Okay, maybe this is the abbreviated.
Still it?
Yeah, apparently. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this must be a cut down version of it.
Armor and some new tools and abilities that make him even more lethal. course, nothing makes the Slayer more lethal than his guns. Like the ballista, a gun that can spear demons with an explosive bolt, or the Slayer's own super shotgun.
Yeah. I love this. It's like his Excalibur, and you'll notice there's a little thing on the end there. We call it the meat hook, and you're gonna love what you could do with that thing.
It's totally my new favorite. But this is what's great. Everybody has a different favorite gun because each is a unique and powerful tool for killing the biggest and baddest demons you've ever seen.
That's right, because, you know, a hero is only...
Can I say that it is still, after 20 years of doing this, it is mind-boggling, to say the least, to listen to a corporate presentation where people are talking about spearing a demon with a straight face. I just love this at times. Just drives me
strong as
crazy.
the enemies he defeats. So if you want to feel like a badass...
Skip. No, skip.
Time you shoot, punch, kick, slap.
Skip. Skip.
Yeah, I think it's going to cut into it now. Which is funny because Let's Rock is Wolfenstein.
Yeah. I am Master Chief. I'm just saying.
Well, technically, Master Chief would be him.
Yeah.
And then your helmet just
disappears.
dissolves.
Yeah.
Yes, you got a stabby. All right. Yes. Yes, you have a shotgun. You got your boomstick and your stabby. Let's go.
Please remain calm. You may notice a slight change in the environment. Fear not. It's all part of the plan.
That's not bad. I'm not gonna lie. The shotgun that acts as a grappling hook is not a bad feature.
Stabby is also a slicey.
I know I'm gonna get hate mail about this, but can I say this does not interest me in any way, shape, or form?
From what aspect?
I mean, yeah, the graphics are great, but it's a mindless gameplay loop for me. It's like, yeah, I guess you got to figure out what the best approach is for them, but I've never understood the fascination with Doom or Quake. I mean, yes, I even played it a lot in LANs back in the 90s because it's what everybody was playing, and I'm fine at it. It's not an issue, but it's the hyper realistic gore butt rock soundtrack thing. It just does not hold any interest or appeal to me. I don't know why. I just
I'm assuming this is a demo level that just has all the different kind of enemies thrown in it, and the difficulty or the hits must be modified, because either that or this guy is just insanely good, because you're fighting enemy types that should not be that new mechanic, wall climbing, that you should not be being able to do what you're doing to here. So I'm assuming this is just for this demo only, that they're trying to show off as much as possible. But, you know, I can't explain it. I mean, on paper, I shouldn't have enjoyed the last Doom, but I did. I enjoyed the crud out of it. You know, minimal story. It's not, you know, that's not my norm, so I was fine with the fact that it was a minimalist story. But there is just something fun about a really well-constructed
Rage Machine
level challenge. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, that's the same thing with Wolfenstein and Doom. Both are just incredibly well-constructed level design, creative enemies, and, you know, just the ability to make things go boom. And you do end up, as you get better and stronger, you end up feeling pretty dang, you know, powerful. Of course, there's always a bigger bad to come along and prove how not powerful you are. I see the same problem here that I saw with the last one, is basically once you've done the melee kills a couple of times, you've basically seen all the animations that there are for them.
Yep. I was thinking
which does get a little bit. He's like, okay, fine. I'm not sure what extra life means in the context of this, because the game doesn't have lives.
This might be a survival mode or something, so that's why it's like a giant death arena.
Yeah,
this might
could be
like a survival game.
Because this doesn't feel like a level. This feels like a. You're right. This feels like a gauntlet of some type.
Except they can't say that because they'll get sued.
Right. Now it's showing up like a level map, but it doesn't mean it's not a. That doesn't mean it's not a. Like you said, some sort of survival mode or something.
Right.
Is that the VFG?
No. Pretty sure it's not.
Then it's a nuclear cannon.
Or
it's just a rocket launcher.
Bazooka.
Yeah.
Hell bazooka.
Hellzooka?
Spitfire?
This is a family show. Just kidding.
Yeah, watch Doom. Family show.
It's a pinky, and again, they're only weak in the back. That was one of the more annoying mechanics of the last one.
There was a certain point where you could blow open their face, couldn't you?
Yeah, but
it was a pain in the bum.
Yeah. The blade just
ones.
I just don't. Yeah, there's like nothing that makes me interested in playing this. Sadly,
I'll probably play it. I won't get it at release, but I'll probably get it eventually and play it.
I still want to play as Simon.
You still want what?
I still want to play as Simon.
Belmont?
Was that his name? I feel like that was his name.
Oh, the giant robot android dude?
Yeah. His name was Simon, right?
It might have been. I don't remember. I didn't really pay attention to the story, other than evil corporation wants to mine energy from hell and unleashed said hell in the process.
Simon, Theodore, Alvin.
Exactly. So yeah, then the only other thing I saw from the last couple of days was there is going to be in Fallout 76, to keep people from being terrible griefers, there's actually a wanted system. And if you kill somebody who doesn't want to be killed, so if you kill somebody that's got the pacifist flag on, or there's a couple of different things you can do to indicate that you're not interested in PvPing, you actually get marked on everybody's map, and you can't see anybody on your map. and you become wanted, and people will get special rewards for taking you out. I'm sure people will make a metagame out of this. I'm sure there will be some sort of farming of something that people will figure out how to do and actually turn it into an advantage. But that's how they're going to attempt to manage griefers in Fallout 76.
I have a better way to manage griefers in Fallout 76. Not play Fallout 76.
And then I know we're running low on time here, but did we want to touch on the ninja story, or do we want to just skip that?
No, it's not really a story because, to be honest... Okay, so let's talk about it. So Ninja, who is arguably the most popular Twitch streamer right now, who plays Fortnite, never plays with female gamers. And he came under fire for this, and he said it was a personal choice because he's married, and being a person, his wife streams also, and being a personality, if you choose practically anybody to stream with that is of the opposite sex, then people go insane with speculation of, are they an item, are they doing extramarital things, etc. He said he just doesn't want to do that, so he just chooses not to stream with female gamers. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I get where he's coming from. It's his choice. It's his stream. People should choose to support him or not for following it. You'll notice a theme. We don't really cover these types of stories or the Me Too stuff, etc., because I think that, we have discussions, Matt, about it's almost like political things. I don't. Yeah. That's not what I want to turn this channel into, discussions on.
No.
I don't think that it's not unimportant, but I think it's important that everybody kind of come to their own consensus on this stuff. And, if you agree with him, great, watch him. If you don't agree with him, then stop watching him and stop yelling about it. And
it's the great irony of, he's now getting grief for not doing the thing he was trying to avoid getting grief for.
Yeah, exactly. It's so dumb. I don't. I get where he's coming from. I don't necessarily agree with it, but at the same time, it's his right. It's his channel. It's his content. And if you disagree with him, then show that disagreement by not supporting his streams and his stuff and etc. And if enough people do that, then he will either be forced to change or he will be less popular.
Yep.
That's my personal.
No, yeah, I think I understand it completely because, if we were ever to get popular and start drawing that kind of attention, I would probably lose my ever-loving mind. So, the fact that these people can put up with this and do this on a day-to-day basis is amazing to me to start with. So, I have no qualms with him doing that. Well, is it right or wrong? It's not for me to say, but I can appreciate why he's doing it,
I think, and I think this brouhaha about it kind of, in my mind, makes me think that my positioning is not right, but the better choice of, he should probably go ahead and stream with other female gamers to promote their channels and help them get more popular, because this stuff's going to happen no matter what. And the fact that he's not doing it and now it became a story just shows that that's true. So why not elevate someone else and help someone else and let the internet do its thing and not worry about it? I don't know. Like I said, it's his choice, it's his content, and more power to him.
And really, it's between him and his wife, right?
Exactly. And he says his wife had nothing to do with that. She was totally fine with it. He said he wanted to compartmentalize his personal life from that. And I really like Ninja, and I think he's a good streamer. And I have no problems. I have no problem. Again, not what I would do, but I have no problems with him making that decision for his own content, because it's his content. It's his stuff. I have no right or horse in that race to say, oh, Ninja's a bad person for. I don't care. I mean, do what you want to do, and if people respond well, congratulations. If they don't respond well, okay, take that information in, make changes, or don't. That's up to you. So,
yeah, ultimately, I think this is to use a term phrase, fart in the wind. It's now, but in tomorrow it won't matter.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
I just don't know why it's a problem to begin with, but that's a deep
because that welcome to the internet. That's basically.
Have you seen the Gabby video, Mitchell?
No.
Okay, I'm going to show you this real quick because I know I said I wanted to end a little early, but I think this is important because this is actually part of what we're talking about right now. Gabby, diss yourself. Nope, not that one. Yes, this one. Which we're definitely going to get censored for, but I don't care because people will see where they go to do this.
Welcome back, guys. I'm gonna roast myself again because, well, last time it just wasn't well done. Yo, sup? I'm Gabby. I'm a high roller rolling through in a brand new Toyota Corolla. Live alone in a 2-bedroom apartment, but it's real cheap. You can tell by the carpet. That's okay, cause I'm never home. I'm at the gym, as you probably know, cause I post about it every single time. So my weight loss never slips your mind. I'm working out like 8 days a week, cause I can't control myself when I eat. Think I'm Melissa Model now, what's that about? By the way, have I mentioned that I work out? Had the glow up of the motherfucking century, but I'll still die alone eventually. That's right, I'm single and I can't keep a man, cause I'm crazy in a way you could never understand. Lots of fans, but where are my friends? And I'm alone every night of the weekend, cause my social life's been in the trash can. Love myself when I'm pumped with injections. Oh no, my views are low. Looks like my hair has got to go again. But hey, no sweat, no biggie, as long as you pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Always say I'm working hard, but then again, who am I kidding? See, my job is a joke. I take selfies for a living, but I gotta say, it's not no work, all play. If you're not convinced, check my resume. Call myself a musician, but count my songs 1, 2. First single out loud sounds better on mute. And speaking of single, it makes no sense, man. I'm a satellite, but never had a true connection. My music's underwhelming, but my biggest crime. My New York Times best-selling nursery rhyme. Story time. I admit I may have overreacted, and I hope you can see past it if I'm overdramatic. If my antics seem erratic and a touch problematic, it's an old bad habit. I do mental acrobatics, make the situation seem undoubtedly traumatic, when the truth is if you study my intense reactions, and the actions are a far cry from pragmatic. It's a business tactic, cause the honest fact is, if you break it down, it's really quite systematic. See, I have an audience that has a demographic on a platform run by analytics, on a platform that's strictly algorithmic, on a platform as long as you're charismatic, then the platform rewards being a dick. So maybe that's me. If a shoe fits, wear it. Hey, forgive me, like the video and share it. I think that we can all forgive Brian Lee, cause he only did what you all want to do to me. Overwhelmed, overworked, overpaid. I'm on top of the world, sitting pretty on a stack, but the static still cracks in my veins. At the bottom of the universe, I'm feeling all the weight. People die for this, people lie for this, people suck and fuck some guy for this, pay the toll for this, sell their soul for this, play my part, but what's my role in this? I'm not built for this, all the guilt of this, and I don't think I can deal with this. I'm too old for this, gonna fold from this, people starving and I get gold for this. You all chalk me up as some whiny fuck who's stressed by success like my life sucks. I get it, I know, it's such a conundrum. I get what I want, but I can't have much fun with it. It's not the fame or the money I'm yearning. I don't give a fuck about what I've been earning, but each day I wake up more blessed and I'm learning. Of all these people, I'm least to deserve it. I don't deserve it. I try to be perfect, I'll never be perfect. I'm not worth it. Keep looking for answers, I swear I've been searching but come up short. And I give up quick, cause if I found it, I think I'd be scared of it. You don't see the scene that's behind the screen, and I urge you all to be aware of it. It's an interesting dichotomy of monetized sincerity. Stir up my insecurity with constant uncertainty. Generation of anxiety, the look at me society. Dubiety or piety, the gods all suffer silently. I'm sorry for my obsession with attention. I have an ungodly fear of rejection. My apprehension and objection is the viral infection of dollars and followers in place of affection. What I need is a human connection. not blue light and a foggy reflection of my misconception of my own perception, a result of too much introspection. They find my disinterest interesting, my depression a funny thing, my decline is relatable. People love that I hate myself, yeah, they love that I hate myself. People love that I hate myself, people love that I hate myself, people love that I hate myself. I climbed out of my head and watched myself implode. A thought without a body ought to be the shot to take a load off. My brain is poisoned and I'm searching for the antidote, but every time I find it, my defenses scream, oh no you don't. Whoa, but it's fine. No, really, I'm fine. It's just a matter of time. You'll lose your mind and not be fine from time to time. I'm not crazy, but I feel crazy all of a sudden. In a city, never seeing snow or rain or leaves in autumn. Lose yourself in seasons, not remembering that you forgot him. Knocking on my door, I can't confront him, so I lock him out. But I don't mind. No, I really don't mind. 'Cause believe it or not, it feels good to be forgot from time to time. So, forget me. And please, God, forgive me if you feel a touch underwhelmed by all my overwhelming negativity. Who am I and when? When's my workday end and where does me begin? Are these my colleagues or my friends? On a scale of 10 to 1, do you hate who I've become? 'Cause I hate who I've become. I'm sorry for who I've become.
That came out today?
No, well, yeah, the video came out 2 weeks ago, but the single came out today. And I mean, like, we're so not anywhere even close to popular, but
no.
You know, just even trying to set a schedule on a daily basis and juggle work-life balance and, you know, set up the apartment for the for broadcasting and to do all that and coordinate all this. And luckily I have the best podcasting people with me. Like, you guys have been solid for years and I appreciate that more than you can imagine. And so many projects have fallen through the crack because people don't have any idea what goes into making anything. And so I love that video because even on a small scale, it's relatable for some of it. I can't imagine, you know, if we were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, like the Kind of Funny guys, right? How much stress that would be to produce all that content every single day. I mean, I want to, you know, in a perfect world, that's where I'd want to be because I'm sick like that. But at the same point, you know, at the same time, you know, I'm not hyper animated. I'm not a you know, hey everybody, let's go all the time. I'm not, and that's always been like my problem. Is I like analysis. I like thinking about things. I like talking about things. I'm not the song and dance guy, but at the same time, if I don't do it, who else is there? And so that's where, you know, I think a lot of people don't think about the content that they watch or think about anything that goes into that content. And they think they know people that are behind the a microphone or a camera, and they don't. I mean, we try to be as real as we are, you know, and I think we do a good job of that. But at the same time, you know, at some point we turn the cameras off and we go spend time with our significant others, our kids, our families, and that's different than who we are when we're just a bunch of friends hanging out talking about video games and movies and all the CW shows and
and all that other stuff, comics and books.
Yes.
And no, I'm not familiar with her. I mean, is she primarily a musician? I mean, it seemed like maybe she was an Instagram personality or something. Or
she actually started on Vine and blew up and got popular on Vine. And then when Vine closed, she moved to YouTube. And she does vlogs mainly. And she even so she started that Diss Yourself challenge 2 years ago, and it was it was funny and not like that. Right, none of them have been like that.
That was not dissing yourself. That was
that was super. I mean,
satire.
It started out as satire, but then it took a left turn about halfway through it and became very real. but she collaborates with a lot of people. She does a lot of things. She's very popular. She's lost a lot of weight because she's been working out, and she even made fun of herself for that because, you know, one person that I very much like on YouTube is Jack's Films. He used to do Your Grammar Sucks, and now he does Yesterday I Asked You, and he does a lot of musical stuff. But he was actually this actually just aired on the React channel also, and they had a bunch of YouTubers in talking about, you know, watching that and their reactions to it, for seeing it for the first time for some of them, and others had already seen it, and then they kind of break it down, and they actually have her on the show as well. And it's interesting for me because Jack's Films is almost never serious in anything. Like, even when he shows up on the React channel, he's always his snark self. But here he was like complete deadpan, talking about work-life balance and how it reflects a lot of his experience. And even Jacksepticeye is on there. And you know, he talks about when he first blew up on YouTube, when he had green hair and he was doing all these games every day that he loved doing, but at the same time was so burnt out that he was not finding any kind of work-life balance. And so I think that's an interesting thing. And that's, for me, actually been the struggle as we developed another streaming schedule to come back and do this. It's like, okay, where does my work day end and where does my me time begin? And then it became a conversation with the wife. Well, you know, if I trade these days and then keep the weekends open, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for us, is that a workable living arrangement? And people don't think about that necessarily. I think that video highlights a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, no, the thing is, when your life and your work, you know, for me, it's simple. You know, I go to work, I go to a building and I work, right? And when I leave that building, I'm not working anymore. Now, you know, I do things like the podcast occasionally. I have streamed in the past. I have problems with streaming because I like music in my games and muting the music kills me. So that's my big hang up with streaming.
You know, you don't need to on Twitch, right?
No, actually I didn't. I thought that was bad there too.
It is, but the way Twitch works it is that it analyzes the video in 30-second chunks, and it will scrub out only where the offending areas are.
Oh.
So, I mean, granted, depending on what's going on in the game, it could be big chunks. But the point is, Twitch is more of a live streaming service versus Amazon is more of a curation service. So, the analogy there is YouTube is for post-produced content, whereas Twitch is for live stream content.
Right.
And they don't care so much about the curation side.
Yeah. So I don't know. That might be something I'll look into doing, but I have no ability to be a regular schedule at this time. I just don't. I mean, between kids with sports events and my personal life stuff, and you know, my parents are gone this week, and I'm doing the chores at their farm, so that would completely kill my schedule for this week. You know, to do anything. So you know, I'm not comfortable committing to something like that because you know. So you know, if I happen to do something erratically, that's what it is. You know. I would not want to be popular,
and I want to make perfectly clear that I am not calling you or anyone else on our team out for that, because that's I've never expected anyone from the channel to do the insane things that I do, because I also, like you, have a full time, and then I come home and I stream from 7 p.m. until usually 12:30 to 1 a.m. every day, and I rinse and repeat and do that over and over again. And
and where I was going with that, and that wasn't a slight of what you do. I know you put in ridiculous hours for this, but you know, when your life and your work occupy the same space, like a lot of these YouTubers and video creators and online personalities, I said in the chat today, because I was reading more about the ninja stuff, and I was like, being an online personality just has to suck.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you get what you want and then you get what you wanted, you know, I mean, there's the two sides of it. And I just, those people, I think there is a certain type of mentality that's attracted to that, and I think there are foibles of that type of personality that get abused because of that. But not everybody. I'm not saying everybody. I say it's a tendency, I think. But yeah, I look at that and I just go, this is not healthy. I mean, these guys, it's almost like they need a union. If you ever met me, you would know me saying those words are like insane. But it's almost like, all the YouTube live streamers need to get together and have a union to protect themselves from their fans. That's the sad thing, is these people that are berating them are supposed to be their supporters. They're supposed to be their reason for doing this. And I don't know, I'm getting off topic now. But anyway, my point was, when your life and your work get blurred, if you don't have the discipline to draw that line in a certain place, that's going to drive you insane.
Yeah, and I that's why I like that one breakdown that she does of when am I,
right.
Where does my work end and my life begin? And that's, I mean, even I have days where I will close the laptop, I will shut it down and say, I am done. Because I have to have some actual time for me and do my stuff. But yeah.
And that's hard, especially if that's your income, because that hour you're not streaming for because you took an hour of me time
or
is
producing
costing
a video.
you.
Yeah,
right,
or producing a video, or yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this will bring us to the part where we thank the people that allow us to do what we do, which are our patrons. If you would like to support us, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/Gamersledge. You can get your name on every show that we do for as little as $1 a month, but we like to take this point in time to thank the folks who pledge at the $5 level and above directly. So thank you, Bobby. Thank you, John. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Regina. And thank you, Justin, obviously. So thank you for all your support. And again, you can support us at patreon.com/Gamersledge. If you'd like to follow our news feed throughout the week, granted this week was really light. I'm sure it'll be better next week because this has got to be the lightest it'll be for the rest of the year. You can head over to twitter.com/Gamersledge, facebook.com/Gamersledge, or of course, you can check out our actual website at Gamersledge.com. That's going to bring us to our final thoughts. Matt, final thoughts, since we're on you. We're focused on you. Spider-Man.
I really want to get God of War finished, but
I guess you're trying to tell me something, but I can't figure out what it is.
There's a little game coming out from a developer nobody's heard of called Spider-Man, a character nobody really ever heard of before. Wasn't ever popular really, but it's going to be a little game coming out about them in 3 weeks, and that's going to consume my life. This is one of the rare instances where I bought the collector's edition. I never buy collector's editions. I have pre-ordered.
Wow.
I don't pre-order games. 2, I don't get collector's editions. I pre-ordered the day it came out, and I got the collector's edition.
Is this your first real sin of new game for the last 2 years? Day
this
one
is
launch,
my first.
day
This is my first launch for the last 2+ years. This is my first launch day game in a long time. Yeah.
Crazy.
On the similar note, I finished all my Spider-Man comics. If you could see right over there, you'd see that stack is gone, and the other 2 are still there, but the one is gone. So I'm all caught up on Spider-Man comics. Not really super into the new Amazing Spider-Man creative team. The dude that's doing the art is the guy from Invincible, whose name is escaping me. I apologize.
I've never been a huge fan of his.
He cannot draw a female face. I'm sorry. Mark Bagley might only have 2 faces, boy face and girl face, but at least you can tell the difference. I love Mark Bagley's art, by the way. That's where I broke my teeth on Spider-Man with Mark Bagley's art. So I I love. I'm actually late. That was late teen years when I got into Spider-Man. So it was during the Mark Bagley run on Amazing Spider-Man, and then obviously he was in Ultimate Spider-Man, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But anyway, Mark Bagley Spider-Man will always be the Spider-Man for me. So I got through that. That's interesting. The Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, has been an odd but intriguing book. I'm not sure how much longer that thing can go because it's just so weird. But it's doing its thing. It's keeping going. And then all the other Spider stuff. There's a new Spider-Gwen book coming out, which you will be happy to know. She is now officially Spider-Gwen. She's been outed. Everyone knows her identity now. So she is now officially no longer Spider-Woman. She is now officially Spider-Gwen. I know that was a point of content. Oh, spoiler alerts. Sorry.
Wow.
It's a few months ago
what?
now. That's a few months ago now. So hopefully nobody is further behind than I am because that's pretty bad. But there's a new Spider-Gwen book. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider is coming out post Spider-Geddon. Where they come up with these dumb names, I have no idea. But
I'm just trying not to say something negative about Spider-Man right now. That's all I'm trying to do.
I get it. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
No,
but
it's
you like
not.
Bishop. Bishop, so
I
try,
do.
you got nowhere to come from.
I am like Bishop's back in Uncanny. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, when does that launch? Is that next month?
I think it's actually might be the end of this month. Like I know it's a September book, but I think it comes out the last week of. Like if there was anything to get me back into buying a physical comic book, it would be that right there.
And we already talked about the Extinction, which I found out today actually is spelled with an E, an X word that doesn't start with an X in a title.
I know. That's why I was doing that. And then when I looked it up, I'm like, oh, it's actually
they always do that. It always just starts with an X. So it's like,
I think that's because they had the Extinction event that was the X, so they probably want to differentiate.
Yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, okay, that was a really long final thought.
Yeah, it was. Mitchell.
Octopath Traveler is probably, my clock on it's probably going to double.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I fully expect when I do pick that up, the same thing here. Because I will pick that up eventually.
Because I'm expecting some severe grinding at some point. I already had a heavy grind session.
You've already ground for like 10 hours of your playtime so far. It's been
but man, I love that battle system. It's like a cross between Xenogears and a traditional RPG system. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried it out yet, but
you really need to, Matt. You
Watching it, it feels like it's originally was one of the Final Fantasy 13 plethora of games that were supposed to come out because it's got that same break mechanic. There's some similarities in the soundtrack with a heavy violin use and stuff. There's some elements of it, and it's got the finger pointer like it was originally a Final Fantasy game in the menu structure. I'm just like, this feels like it was originally part of the Final Fantasy 13 pantheon of games.
See, I'm going to say that whole thing about the charges in the combat mechanic make it feel like the 3 levels of attacks from Xenogears to me. And that's why I've been kind of that's the headspace I've been approaching it from with Final Fantasy, stuff because it's
You never played Xenogears, did you, Mitchell?
No.
No.
Well, I tried starting it, and then I got stuck because of something weird. Like, I got into a battle, and I couldn't do anything, and I died, and I don't know. There was no tutorial for combat, and...
No. No tutorials, you say? Oh, no. I'm sorry.
There wasn't even an attack button. There wasn't a run button. My character just stood there.
I love it. I love it. This is how all games used to be. You had to figure that shit out on your own. Okay. Yeah.
Or read the book.
Yeah, right. Or read the booklet that came with it. That's right. Was that all of your final thought? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
My final thought is if you are considering picking up the Division 2, you should go back and play Division 1 now because they have a new feature called a shield, which you can collect different shields, and those will carry over to the Division 2. They give you just active bonuses for stuff. So, and I'm going to be playing a lot of survival, so there's that. We will end the show, as we always do, with a wise piece of sage advice to carry you over from this week to the next and our next show. Man, which one of you to ask this of is actually very, very difficult. I think I'm going to have to go with Matt. Matt, how does Harry Potter go down the hill?
I don't know. How does Harry Potter go down the hill?
Walking. JK, rolling. Until next time, game on!
Game out.
No, I'm not going to get a game on from you.
Game on.